Hello everyone. As we discussed in previous class, measures of dispersion. Let's quickly revise what we have discussed in previous class. Measure of variation. We were studying the types of dispersion. There are two types of measures of variation. First one is algebraic. Algebraic, it is again of two types, absolute measure of dispersion and relative measure of dispersion. Second, it is known as Lorentz curve. Algebraic measure of dispersion is again divided into two types, distance measures and average deviation measures. Distance measure, we can measure it through two ways. First, range and its coefficient. Second, interquartile range of deviation and its coefficient. Here the meaning, we are studying it two times, range and the coefficient of range. If we talk about the range, it means we are finding the absolute measure, whereas when we talk about the coefficient of range or coefficient of interquartile range, that means we are finding the relative measure of dispersion. All right. Next is average deviation measure. It has been again divided into two types. First is mean absolute deviation and its coefficient. Second one is standard deviation and its coefficient. All right. Let's revise it one by one in detail. The first is range. The range is the simplest measure of dispersion and is based on the location of the largest and smallest value in the data, right? So range is defined as the difference between the greatest and smallest observation of the distribution. Symbolically, we can write range is equal to x of maximum minus minimum value of x, where x max is the greatest observation and x minimum is the smallest observation of the variable value, right? Next is coefficient of range. In order to compare the variability of the two or more distributions given in different units of measurement, the relative measure called coefficient of range is used and is defined as coefficient of range is equal to x maximum minus x minimum divided by x of maximum plus x of minimum. In other words, coefficient of range is the ratio of the difference between two extreme observations of their sum, right? Now, what is the advantages and disadvantages? Advantages, it is independent of the measure of central tendency. It is easy to calculate and understand, right? Now disadvantages is कैलकुलेशन में हम केवल दो ही वैल्यू यूज करते हैं, लार्जेस्ट एंड द स्मॉलेस्ट, राइट? सो इट इज फेल टू टेक अकाउंट एनी अदर ऑब्जर्वेशन, right? The second disadvantage is it is largely influenced by two extreme values and completely independent of other values, right? Now, what can be the applications of range? Fluctuation in share prices, quality control, weather forecast, we use the mean. For example, if we talk about the average rainfall, so we can see the range is the largest rain minus the minimum rain. So this is the range कि इस साल इतनी बारिश हुई, right? Second, come to quartile deviation, or it is also known as interquartile range. This is based on the quartiles what we have discussed earlier in your measure of central tendency topic. The difference between upper and lower quartiles, that is Q3 minus Q1, is known as the interquartile range, and half of this difference, that is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2, is called the semi-interquartile range or the quartile deviation, denoted by QD. Right? Next is coefficient of quartile deviation. For comparative studies of variability of two distributions, the relative measure, which is known as coefficient of quartile deviation, is given by coefficient of quartile deviation is equal to x3 minus x1 divided by x3 plus x1. Next is mean deviation or average deviation, right? Mean deviation, this measure of dispersion is obtained by taking the arithmetic mean of the absolute deviations of the given values from a measure of central tendency. According to Clark and Skede, average deviation is the average amount of scatter of the items in a distribution, either the mean or the median, ignoring the sign of deviations. Calculation of mean deviation, if we calculate it into the ungrouped data, then the formula is mean deviation is summation xi minus a upon n, right? Or you can easily learn by mod, where mod is the absolute value of x, right? So mod di divided by summation x. Whereas in grouped frequency distribution, simply we will learn only, we will add the word f, letter f, after the summation. The formula will become summation f mod x divided by n, where n is equal to summation f, that is total frequency, right? So this is for today. In the next video lecture, we will revise standard deviation. All right, thank you guys.